Hey mamas, so I am 25 weeks or 27 weeks. I don't know, I can't keep track. I'll just be completely honest with you. I just know that I'm more than halfway through and wanted to give you guys an update this week. Next week when I give you an update and I start recording this video, I'll know how many weeks I am beforehand, hopefully. But I guess I'll just be honest, I guess just with baby number 4, it's just like so much going on that I'm just like losing track of the weeks. And I know I have a little app that reminds me every time I hit a week, and yet somehow I still don't remember. But that's okay. I just know I'm doing early fall and baby's coming sometime then. I am feeling really good. I have been having some I have been having some sciatica pain on one side. I do have a hip hike because I know my glutes are weak. I know my posterior chain needs to be strengthened. I just know things about my body. Thank you, Body Ready Method training that I just like know I need to handle. And so I will be handling those. But exercises that I've been doing, one exercise that I've been doing, I highly recommend. Lindsay McCoy at Body Ready Method has exercises to do in bed before you fall asleep. Oh my goodness. Those are so good. They relax your body. I feel like everything is just so loose and awesome, and I absolutely love it. I have really been loving the forward-leaning inversion and how awesome that's been. I've just been enjoying it a lot. Once a day, just for 30 seconds. It's not bad. It's good. Actually feels really good. So, those are just a couple of things. Just the exercise right before bed, because it's easy to remember because I'm already in bed and I'm kind of like, if you're trying to get comfortable, you're like, oh wait, let me do those exercises. Those have been awesome. I absolutely love those. My husband has even started doing them with me, like the arm stretch ones. And he says that's pretty awesome. He's like, oh wow, he was like, oh, this feels really good. I'm like, yeah, it loosens up your whole upper body right before bed. And so, so I have found that to be like my go-to. Even if I forget to do something during the day, at night, before bed, I have been more consistent with doing that. I think the biggest thing with things during pregnancy is consistency, right? It's like, what can you do consistently? So you have to figure out what works for you in your life, in your day-to-day life. What can you consistently commit yourself to? For me, it's the exercises right before bed, but also I know I need more of that because I've been having some other pain points, and so I am just forward-leaning and inversion is a good one before I get on the computer to do some work every day. It's good for me to do that one because I have a couch in the office and I can do that by myself at this point. And then just hip hinge. The best way for me the hip hinge is really good for me because of my posterior chain and the work I need to do there. So I have found that it is most effective if I try to just remember when I brush my teeth to do the hip hinge. Easy way to just incorporate into my day-to-day life. But also I have the BRM program. It's worth it. It's good. Every time I find I have the 20 minutes to do it, it's so worth it. And even if my children are climbing on top of me, it's still good. So so that's what I'm doing in terms of physical prep. But I will say that in terms of informational prep and stuff like that, listen, you guys, I'm a doula, but I'm still learning stuff. This is my 4th pregnancy, and this is the first time I ever found out that I carry the sickle cell trait, that it actually has some potential. People who tend to carry the sickle cell trait are more likely to have asymptomatic UTIs during pregnancy that could, if undetected, lead to liver infection, which could obviously affect the baby. So the practice that I'm with this time around is recommending, one urinary sample and panel during each trimester, where they go a little bit more in depth to just make sure I don't have I don't have a UTI that's asymptomatic. This has never come up for any of my other pregnancies, so that's why I found it so interesting. But that is also just giving me more things to just go research, learn about. I tend to be I'm very much focused on minimalism when it comes to medical care interventions, things like that, especially during pregnancy, because sometimes I found that the more information sometimes you're given, or it's like the more fear or things like that can be brought into the picture, but that's my own personal experience, and that's my own personal my own personal experience, my own personal choice. Everybody has a choice around it. And so I just choose not to do some things because I just think it's, for me, it would be something that would just try to induce fear, and I don't want that. So it's not ignorance, it's a choice. Like, I make a decision. I've never had a UTI during 3 pregnancies. I'm not going to start having them now, but because in this practice they're asking for a lot more information than I've ever had done with any other place I've ever been to. This is like the most I've ever. Home birth midwives are really normally very hands off, and so this is more. These are more labs than I've ever done before, and so I just want to know what they're for, and I want to make sure I have my choice around them. If I don't need to do them, or I don't want to do them, or I choose based off of the information that, then that's my choice. But I'm just saying that even as a doula, still things coming up that I'm like, okay, got to do my research, got to figure it out, and got to talk to my husband, and we got to make the best choice for us, right? So there's that. And then today is my GD test. Yeah, I am 27 weeks. Today is my gestational diabetes test. So we're going to take the fresh test. I love the fresh test, y'all. That I don't drink glucola. I haven't ever had to drink glucola. And so that I made a whole video about all the gross things that stuff has in it, and I really don't think they should be giving it to pregnant women, but there are choices around that, and thank God for that. I made my choice, and we're going with the fresh test, which I absolutely love. It's like the sweet lemonade that you drink, and but it's not so sweet that you feel gross. And so that is how I'm getting my GD test. So I will be at the providers today for an hour. And so, yeah, so I've never had gestational diabetes during any of my pregnancies. What I did to prepare, I prayed. And then I also had my husband pray over me this morning. Just praying and believing that that God is just protecting us. He's shown us so much favor. He's shown us just like his faithfulness in all of this, even though this isn't where I would have picked to birth myself, even though this isn't what I would have picked for myself. I'm walking it out because I know that I've got God. And so I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see the journey. Like, I have come to just find peace in it, because we're not always going to get what we want, but God always gives us, at least in my experience, God always is keeping us, and he always gives us what we need. I've never gone without, and so I'm thankful for that, and I just want to walk in obedience and do it with joy. And so that's why during this appointment I'm not crying. I'm looking forward to it, and all of that to say that I'm excited. I'm excited for this baby. I'm excited for the rest of this pregnancy. I'm like in the home. Honestly, it feels like I'm in the home stretch, because the summer months always seem to go by so fast, and there's so much I want to do and so much I want to get done before this baby arrives. So I'm like, crunch time. Let's get to work on the physical prep, get to work on the things that I want to do outside of birth prep. But also, one last thing I will end this update video with. So for spiritual prep, God gave me a word. Gave me a word for this birth, which just confirms to me that I really do believe I'm expecting a girl, because he gave me a word similar to the word he gave me for my daughter. So for my boys, he's always given me a location that I've gone to in the Bible and been able to learn about. For my daughter, he gave me a word. He gave me the word joy for Ellie. That's why her name is Elizabeth Joy. For this child, he also gave me a word. And so I am going into the Bible, studying that word, and it's pretty awesome. I'm loving that. Loving that. And finding that the theme keeps coming up during all of my quiet time. And so that's that. All right, I'm going in for my prenatal. God bless y'all, and I'll give you an update later. Bye. Hey mama, so thanks for sticking around to watch this vlog of what pregnancy has been like with baby number 4 for this season, for this time, while I'm sharing about this awesome birth story. I am offering my online childbirth education course for as little as $1 to give you access through the end of the year to get yourself educated on birth and pregnancy and postpartum, so that you are prepared to have a supernatural, positive birth experience with Jesus. And so I hope that you'll take advantage of that. The link is down below. Thanks so much for sticking around to watch this video till the end, and we'll see you in the next one.